What's happening, y'all? We are back. Um, we're back to it. So we're about to get back to cold calling. You know what I mean? Y'all know y'all saw that we did that yesterday. Um, we made a little progress, not enough, but made a little progress. So we're gonna kind of pick that back up, and yeah, man, we'll take it from there. Um, so again, so today we're doing cold outreach to prospects, partners that we want to, companies we want to partner with for training neurons. So we're gonna reach out to them. Um, uh, we gonna be talking about shit on LinkedIn. We be talking. All right, so let me pull this up, man. I gotta pull up my spreadsheet and we're gonna get to it. Some hedge funds. Where's my South by sake, connected to Chase from Gal Conference. This cake. Hold up. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. And we're gonna jump right into cold calling. So here's my list right here. Actually, hold on. Even before I do that, let me go to Fiverr. I know this dude responded by now. Get this as a, so I'm gonna take this here's, Let me get the PowerPoint here. Keep out the cut like a glare. Like a glare. All right, so we didn't see um the slide, the PowerPoint here says the PowerPoint. We're going to send something like this to the head of global partnerships and business development over at Yahoo Finance. So yesterday we talked to him briefly. You know, he asked me to send him some additional information. Right, that's what people say when they want to get you off the phone. That's what they say. So, but you know, I do think this will get his attention. Right, so. Take a screenshot. South by 7 connected to chasing got power this tape. Finding my way can get out of my way. She really gonna age. You know what this shit take. Beast tough.
I'm connected through chasing, got pounds of this cake. West that late when I let in that 8 rather been 6 tray and I gun metal great. Pop my way, can get out of their way and still all in their face. This shit really gon' age. Hip in the yacht, it remind me of
The flow is immaculate. Oh, actually, what you gonna do when you get in that jam? It's a good beat. You know what? I don't really have time for him to send this back, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and send this to y'all in 5 minutes though. It doesn't matter.
This point guard, Brandon Smith.
Um, all right, so we're gonna start with companies that are in the 10 billion to 99 billion dollar valuation, right? So it's not revenue; that's just what the companies are worth. But obviously, you know, they work. It's a lot of money. So we're gonna start with those companies, which, as you can see here, you know, those are like kind of mid-tier companies for us. Um, hmm. I need to pull up my script too, though. I guess we'll start with platforms first. When we start with platforms, right? So I'm gonna reach out to people, like basically people on the C-suite level of trading platforms. So think Robinhood, Webull, um, TradingView, companies like that. See Robinhood right here. Um, hmm. Start with Weeble. South by safe from the rock and the from the positive state. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. Bro, the internet is so funny. I need to stop getting distracted, bro. Here we go, man. We can call Anthony, right? CEO of Weeble. Let's see. I'm so sick of calling these people, bro. I'm not gonna lie, but it's necessary. Though. That's why I do it.
We are sorry, there is no one available to take.
Already. Let's see. right, so we can call here the COO, right? Weeble. Hey, Shin. I'll be honest, this is a cold call, but I'm sure it'll be worth your time if you give me 10 seconds to explain why I'm calling. Of course. Hangs up. Sure. Okay, we'll have one for this one for Soren Sack. Kanye. Alright. We've already reached out to Carlos, right, through LinkedIn, and he didn't respond. Call Matthew.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
All right, we can call the co-founder and CEO of Robinhood. I don't know if he's still the CEO, but I feel like he left not too long ago. If I remember correctly, I thought I saw that.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated.
I'm trying to like get my, I don't know, bro. We're gonna continue to call, bro. It doesn't, right? Like, we've been hung up on so many times, right? That this is part of the process. You know, it's just all about being resilient. But at a point, it's just like, bro, come on, like, you know what I'm saying? You just be like, all right, I need somebody to at least listen to what I have to say. You know what I mean? So we're gonna, but we're not gonna stop. Yeah, at some point, we're gonna strike.
Hi, I'm currently away from my phone. Please.
I don't know if calling the CTO is gonna, they don't always have the right. But whatever, we'll call him. That's why we have all these numbers here. And I try to say this line, y'all, and I try to say it upbeat, like in an upbeat tone of voice. So like, but a lot of times I can't, as y'all just saw, right? I can't even get this out. You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? I can't even get a line out. But like I said before, man, it's nothing we haven't been through before. You know, it's just what it is. It's part of the process. We call James here first, because he's vice president of business development. So this, I see that the CEO is here. We'll call it CEO after. But you know how it is. You know how the CEOs, they, you know what I mean? They're so busy.
Hi, you've reached James Fogey. At the tone, please leave a message and I'll get back to you.
All right. So we went straight to voicemail. Now call CEO of Morningstar, Kunal Kapoor.
Thank you for calling Morningstar. Please select from one of the following.
For some reason, I knew that this number would. Maybe I've called it before or something. That's part of the reason I didn't call it the first time. I knew it was gonna go straight to the company. I'm tripping. No. How do you pronounce this? Bijon? Daniel. We're gonna call it Daniel, man. Chief Revenue Officer at Morningstar. Daniel is the Chief Revenue Officer at Morningstar. Let's see.
Phone number 3 is currently assigned as the on-call contact.
Okay. Matter of fact, to be honest, I don't even know what let me do this real quick. Because I don't even know what Morningstar is. I need to have a little bit more information about the company. So hold on. Bro, so shit, bro. TikTok and all right, so this is what Morningstar is. Investment research. So tell me why they would want to partner with Trending. You know. All right, so ChatGPT told me what Morningstar does. Now tell me why they would want to partner with us. All right, that's all I need to know. I'll continue. We just called Daniel. Yeah, we just called Daniel. Now I'm gonna say update the script by tailoring it for Bloomberg. All right. Bro, look at this shit. It's taking forever, man. God damn. Taking forever, man. All right, let me stop. Let me stop. Let me call CEO of Bloomberg right now. At Bloomberg.
Your call has been forwarded.
So far. All right, we're gonna go up. We're gonna target some bigger companies now. So mm, All right, let's call Tasty Trade real quick. Luis Oliveira. Am I not? Let me see. Am I connected with him on LinkedIn? Okay, no. And what's his position again? COO. Okay, say less. Research. I'm just trying to make sure we prepare for the convo, bro. So that's why I'm doing this research right now. Never know. If we connect with them, we need to be prepared to talk about, all the value that we can bring to the platform and so on and so forth. All right. We can call Luis now. That's right.
The Google subscriber you have.
We're gonna call the CEO, as I just saw. I think Scott, right? We're gonna call the CEO of Tasty Trade, Scott Sheridan. We'll use this one.
Welcome to Tasty Trade. Please listen closely to our new phone menu. For help.
Okay. Nicholas, Director of Growth and Operations at Tasty Trade.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
And now we're gonna try Google Finance, right? So we're gonna reach out to Derek Johansson, who is the head of business development at Google Finance. It's 650 now. I think that's in California. It might go to like Google's headquarters or something. I don't know if this is a mobile number, but we'll have to find out. Actually, hold on. The reason I hung up is because I wasn't prepared for it. Hold up. Hold up. Hold on. Hold up. All right, I'm back. What did ChatGPT come up with? What y'all call him? Derek Johansson? I did, but I hung up early, right? You call me again. All right, we call Philip Schindler. Next, am I connected with him on LinkedIn? Let's see. All right, we call Philip Schindler. He is Senior Vice President and Chief Business Officer at Google. All right.
Thank you for calling Greeley Middle School. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 7 a.m.
You want to try to call middle school? That's not the right number. Of course I did. All right, on that. It's like middle of the day for Google though. Google employee. I don't call him just yet. Why does it feel like I just don't have? I guess because I don't. I just don't have enough. Dial, bro. We don't have enough numbers. I'll see your Barons real quick. Yeah, it's very different. It's a lot different from when I was calling. I used to call like wealth advisors. Um, there's just so many of them to call, but it's hard to find the contact information of these executives for these larger companies. Hmm. What you gonna do if you get in a jam? I need to call Victor and ask him what the kind of what his business model is for wealth managers. specifically? Like, what is he? How is he looking to charge them? I guess. Yeah, I need to. I guess I'll call him about that right now. So we gotta understand that. In fact, I'm gonna have to go ahead and record it too. So this is a pro tip. Whenever I need to be able to reference something in the future, I use a voice memo. Make sure I don't miss anything. All right, we call it. Let's see. Hello?
Yeah, hey man, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, thank you.
So just quick question, bro. So
Okay.
how do you um how do you envision us charging um wealth managers, or how do you envision the business model for wealth managers specifically?
It ranges between 7,500
Okay.
and half a million.
Between 7,500 and half a million.
Yeah, because
Okay.
work managers are of we put them down into 4 tiers. So the first tier is for firms where they have advisors between 1 and 3.
Okay.
So we're treating one advisor as a trader.
Right.
And so we give them a discount. So if you have advisors more than 3, you will fall under the tier 2. So tier 1 is 7,500. Tier 2 is $20,000. Between 3 and 11, 12 advisors. So we break them down by number of advisors in the firm.
Got you. Okay. So it's what we are charging them is based on just scale. So what we charge scales with the number of advisors they have on their team.
Yeah, we could because I've been thinking about it. We could still change that because I did some. I looked at the numbers today, and if we go back to hedge funds, I'll just give you an example. Vistra is a private fund, not even public, they're private, and they manage about $16 billion. Now, when I wanted to look at the numbers from their perspective, how much will a fund like Vistra or Citadel, how much would they make from us?
Right.
And so we have 4 tiers for them, meaning it's based on your asset under management. In this case, Vistra is $16 billion. If Vistra invests a 5%, a 10%, a 25%, and a 50%, any of those tier, meaning a 5% of 16 billion will be 800 million.
Mm-hmm.
So they will take 800 million and invest in trending neurons using trending neurons 1-month model at a 30% return, which is almost like the average of what we have for top 50 stocks. That 800 million becomes $2 billion.
You said what percentage return?
30% return.
50?
30.
30% return. Okay. Okay.
30% return, and then we are going to do. We're going to make sure that they sell at the end of the 1 month trade. So in 1 year, it's a 30 times 12. So that's a 360% yearly times the $800 million. So
Okay.
in a nutshell, Istra has a possibility of making at an average of $72 billion. How much are we charging them? We're coming in.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
charging with just around $20 million. So I'm starting to rethink maybe we are charging less for how much these guys would make.
Right. Right.
So I'm starting to like think in a different way. What about if we charge based on how much they make? So if they make X amount of percentage, we get a percentage from there. It also becomes quite difficult to know your predictable revenue, you know, and also you're putting your faith into the hands of a trader working for them that will do a good job or a bad job.
Right. Right. It's another factor that comes into
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm saying that going back to work manager is the same thing. So now we have use that same concept, take that same work management company with less than 3 advisors.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just assume they manage $160 million, not billions now.
You say they manage 100, 800, and you said a scenario. So you said 860 million.
An average work management for a company, they manage between 50 million and half a million. Actually, some of them will get to billions.
Yeah.
But some of them are just a single person or 2 people can be managing a work. Like somebody gave them money and would say your target is 12%. If you make a 12%, you get a 1% from there. So that's how some of their deals are structured. I spoke to a investment banker who gave me some tips in Florida on how work management they operate. So I've done my own due diligence. The
Gotcha.
point is we can take that same concept and use that same formula and say this same work management company, you're paying us $7,500, but you're managing $160 million. And if you take that and with 5% of that money invested, that is $200,000.
No.
How much? That's a 5% 6 divided, so it's $8 million. Sorry, it's $8 million.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you take $8 million for a 3 times 360. That gives you roughly 240.
Okay.
So that we are charging them just $7,500. Look at the amount they make. So when I look at that, those numbers, it doesn't make sense to me. And that's what I've been thinking. This is money.
Yeah.
We have to find a business model.
Of
we can still keep what we have as a base. Like you're coming on board, the infrastructure, the setup. This is how much you pay. But for every dollar you make, maybe we can get some percentage. But I don't know how that would. How do we know how much they made? How would that look like? I'm not sure that would work.
Well, I mean, I feel like we could definitely make it work. But like, I mean, I know, right off the top of your head, it's kind of hard for us to decide on exactly how it would work. But I think some type of baseline, to have predictable revenue. So like we've been talking about here, 7,500 or whatever it is, depending on their assets under management. Having that baseline, right, for the predictable revenue, but then also maybe at some threshold, if the ROI is, this percentage, right? Then we would, um, make such and such. We make such, such and such percentage of that return on investment.
Right.
I think something like that, makes sense. Like that, basically a base plus performance, revenue model for, the wealth managers.
Wait, see, how would that work? So they would have to report at the end of the year for you to know how much they made. Like it makes sense business wise, but I don't know if it makes sense from the point of now they make money, now they're going to come back and pay us after they've already made the money. Maybe we can go a different direction. We can say, instead of looking at the advisors, let's look at the AUM decides how much they pay us. And then we can actually do more due diligence on how much are they spending on infrastructure today, or data, or softwares they are using, because we're moving them away from that. No infrastructure cost, no data cost, no software license cost. All they have is just a URL and login. So if we evaluate how much they spend plus how much they are managing today, we can charge them a percentage of that.
Okay.
Yeah, that might become more reasonable. But we don't care how much they make. At least we made something from it.
Yeah. You feel like that's a less intrusive way to basically generate revenue, as opposed to trying to count every dollar they make?
Yeah, before my sounds, but I just don't physically see how they can give us that money. How do we know how much they make? They will have to report it somewhere. We wouldn't know because they are not trading on our platform. If they were trading on our platform and we're seeing the transactions, that would have been easier. Like they trade on this platform and they just made a trade. Last month, this is how much they made. This month, this is how much they made. We can actually measure it. And in this case, we wouldn't know how many transactions they've done based on our platform. So that business model works well only if the executions are done on our platform.
Yeah. I see your point. Yeah.
And I also see something where I look at Vistra. Vistra would make $90 billion in 5 years. Actually, 72. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, let me rephrase. $90 billion. I just woke up from my sleep. A 24% is a possible 72 billion. A 30% return monthly is a $90 billion revenue for Vistra.
Mm-hmm.
And so our projected revenue for 35 partners is 131 billion. There's nothing stopping Vistra from signing a contract with us and say, we don't want you, I'm using them as an example, it could be Citadel.
Okay.
We don't want you to put this product outside. We pay you $5 billion in the next couple of years, but don't sell it anywhere else. Because if you sell it, you might be diluting the product, and we want to make profit. I see where that can be very possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I get, okay, so yeah, I get where you're going with it. And that's actually something that I have thought thought a lot about too. Is you're talking about Citadel and their private fund, but I think a lot of these larger companies may think similarly. So, like even Yahoo Finance, Google Finance, like I think that they could think similarly in terms of, you know, we want, exclusivity of, this product so that it doesn't, so that it can grow market the money. So perspective. Um, so anyway, my point is I could see, a bigger law firm that are worth billions, in people's case trillions of dollars, kind of coming from the same, like have same.
That's just if the direct business is to retailers or traders. Like I wouldn't mind to sign a joint as a trader. Yahoo Finance, Greenpeace. But these platforms are direct to traders.
Right.
So as long as you pay us very well, we're still keeping true to our core vision, which is to go after the underlying retailer. So
Mhm.
if you are selling directly to them and you say, well, we don't want you to sell to the Citadels and the Charles Schwab,
Mhm.
we're going to give you and the team $10 billion for 5 years. I'll take that deal because you know why? At the end of that 5 years, we would have still been able to achieve our goal, which is to reduce the same retailer that are losing money. Now, on the other hand, you give it to an hedge fund, we're just going to make the hedge fund richer. Why we get rich, but the problem is still persisting. Because the hedge fund does not sell directly to the underlying retailer.
Right. They sell to the people that are already wealthy.
They sell to the people that are already wealthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I'm seeing it. Unless somebody change my mind from us,
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. But yeah, bro. So did you share the
it's right there. If you open that business model folder, it's there. You will see a folder called work managers. And you see a folder called Distra, you see a folder called hedge funds. They are there.
Okay.
Cool at the thing today is the formulas will be critical. So while we're pitching to, let's say we're pitching to a work management company, we just need to ask them how much are you managing? They tell us, we just put that number, and in seconds they get how much they can possibly make in 5 years using our platform.
They what what was the last part you said?
So if we have a work management company that we are pitching to or an hedge fund,
Mm-hmm.
we can simply ask them how much assets under management are they managing.
Right.
If it's $1 billion, we just type $1 billion in that formula, and they get the possible return in 5 years. How much they're going to make from us in dollars. So that's appealing to see. And we are saying we're going to say that, hey, look, it's just that's the average we're saying, either on the left, either on the upside or on the downside. What I'm actually saying is, if the market is bullish, the possibility of we are consistently see a roughly between 24 and 30% on the upside if you trade the 1 month model.
Hmm.
But on the other side, if the market is bearish, you will see seal as well. That means you're actually shorting or you are going a different strategy for buying puts. But the same 30% is still dominant. So it doesn't matter either we're on the upside, bearish, bullish, or bearish season, those numbers are still consistent on our platform. That's like the lowest. That's like the lowest I've noticed in the US. US market ranks around number 8 when it comes to which stock exchange produces the highest return. There are other stock exchanges that produces far better return than the US, like Hong Kong. Hong Kong is like almost 50% if you are trading in 1 month model. Some Euronests like Paris, they're also. So my point is that most hedge funds might have a strategy of just trading the US market, but that's what they're familiar with. But with the kind of money that we are going to have, and we are going to spin up all these other stock exchanges, there's nothing stopping them from trading those other stock exchanges that produces more returns. Like Hong Kong. Hong Kong produces the highest return.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm looking at, so I just pulled up Vistria, the deck that we have for Vistria, and so the tier 1, we have the 4 tiers that you mentioned. So we got 5% tier 1, then 10%, 25%, 50%. And you said usage scenarios for AUM percentage. So what are the tiers for? I know you said tier 1 is 7,500, and then what are the other 3 tiers, right? Because I don't know.
You talk about wealth management. You have to look at the wealth manager folder.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me go back. Let me see that. Wealth management folder.
So yeah, there are two things that I'm talking about here. We initially, like, one is how much are we making. The other one is how much are they going to make.
Right.
Yeah. So on the wealth management folder, you will see how much we are going to make. Oh, it's not there. It's not there.
Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, I just.
Oh, it's not there.
Yeah.
It's on the pitch deck folder. I'll share that shortly. It's not.
Okay.
You would have access to it. Yeah. Okay. What you have access to is all what they are making, not how much we are going to make.
Got you.
Yeah. I'll share that one.
Okay.
I'll just put a folder in that folder, and I'll just say trending around. So all our stuff will be there.
Okay. Cool. I was like, yeah. I was like, am I blind? Am I not seeing it? I was just about to say that. Yeah.
There's another folder called pitch deck. It's right there. It's not there.
Okay. All right. Well, so then, yeah. So once I get that folder, then I would know, how much we would be looking to make, right? One more question. So I'm looking at, even looking at Vistria, so talking about what they are making, right? Or what have you, the revenue they're generating. Hold on. It's taking forever to load. Yeah. So I guess my question is, when are we charging so we're charging the 5% if they have 1 to 3 advisors on their team, right? The 5% of their AUM, right?
No, that's just that's not fleshed out yet. What is fleshed out is we're charging 7,500 for wealth managers, 1 to 3 advisors.
Okay, and when you say 7,500, okay, so yeah, that's I got you on that. So and we're charging them 7,500, 3 or less advisors, 7,500 per what? Per
A year.
per year.
We're treating them like traders, but with discount.
Okay, so they would pay us the 7,500 per year every wealth manager that we
Right.
that we close.
Right. If they have advisors less than 3, they fall under tier 1.
Okay.
On the flip side, I'm just thinking that I don't know if that's a better business model compared to, because one wealth management company with one advisor could be having $8 million, and so they only pay us 7,500. But at the end of the year, they can make another $1 billion. So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So I have like I said, I have some experience with obviously working with the advisors. They and you may know this already, but they typically, especially the smaller ones, right? They charge or they generate revenue is typically around 1% of their assets, obviously on the much lower end. Okay, but let's just go with that. If they're measuring $100 million and they are, the revenue they're generating is 1 million. So, I mean, if they're generating and not only generating
The target at the end of the year.
what is their well, I mean, it depends. When you say their target of what?
How much are they aiming to make at the end of the year?
How much are they looking to make by the end of the year? It depends. Like all of them they're all different. So I can't really speak. I can ask them. So I have a few I could talk to, like I mentioned to Nicole. So I'll do that. That's why I'm asking. That's why I called, asking these questions. So, but yeah, so that's what how they make their money is through that management fee. So to me, if they're making, $1 million, us charging them 7,500 is, obviously, really low relative to their revenue. So, for like for instance, like one of my clients, like I charge him, about basically half of that a month, like $3,000 a month. So, and we don't, I don't feel like this. We're not bringing the same amount of value, right, as this platform, right, as this product is, right. So, we're making, whatever, $36,000 a year from that client, whereas, in this case, obviously 7,500. I just feel like it's, we can charge more, a lot more.
I hear you. I completely agree.
Yeah. And that client is very conservative. He's extremely conservative. He doesn't like, even like most advisors that are making $1 million a year, they're typically going to be willing to spend more than $3,000 a year. He's just very, very cheap. So I feel so most advisors at his level, his revenue he's generating, they would be willing to probably dish out 5 to 10. I think is like fair. And I'm saying 5 to 10 a month. So a year, 60 to Anywhere from $60 to $120,000 a year.
So you're thinking, let's go with, instead of the monthly, that amount we're trying to charge should go for yearly. For monthly, I mean.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think MRR, monthly recurring revenue, is much, of course, much better for us. I think worst case scenario, because I'll even say this. So worst case scenario, we could charge them like quarterly. So a lot of advisors get paid from their clients. They get paid quarterly. Okay. So worst case scenario, we should be, probably charging them quarterly.
It's the pay every quarter.
Right. So like,
so that is we can have like 3 deal term. We can say you pay full price every quarter, so 7,500 times 3, or you get a discount of 5,000 if you pay for a deal term of a yearly. So that means instead of 7,500 times 3, you're going to pay
times 4.
$60,000 for 1 year.
Okay. If they pay up front, basically.
Pay up front, yeah.
Okay.
All of them is up front. It's just that we have a predictable revenue for 1 year instead of quarterly.
Yeah, got you. Yeah, I mean I think that sounds a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't care how much they make now. Just happy that there is a platform.
Yeah. It's just, I'm just trying to, make sure that we're, I'm just trying to give suggestions and, talk through it with you so that we can, make sure that we're, it makes sense on our end too, though.
Just spot on. And I didn't.
Yeah.
This sometimes I just do things and then I put some thoughts. It was the Vistra exercise that got me thinking. So you're actually calling me at the right time. I said, oh my God, if these guys are making so much money from the platform, why are we charging so small?
Yeah.
So the conversation is relevant now, and it makes sense to me. One or two, if we get 3 wealth managers, companies or firms, they will cover our entire bond rate.
Mm-hmm.
And that would give us some breathing space to just chill. So the road to profitability we just need 2 or 3 wealth management companies to grow.
Yeah.
And the rest is just profit. Because how much are we burning?
Could you say we're burning? What's the burn rate again right now?
The burn rate, I believe our current burn rate that has been shut down by Microsoft, because the $14,000 debt we are on, that looks like our burn rate for just
computing power.
Just computing power. So let's say $14,000. Beta is $6,000-7,000. So we're looking at just $20,000 monthly. So almost $240,000 yearly.
Yeah, about $250,000 yearly.
$240,000.
Yeah.
So just 4 clients, we can find a way that those 4 clients can cover the entire bond rate. Now, partnership is a lot more different because we want to allocate a dedicated compute for them.
Right.
So that's like separate thing. So we don't want any issues where somebody's paying us billions and the platform is performing slow. No.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Optimum, yeah. But every that, like the wealth managers, they will share they can use the same login like everybody. they'll be fine. And we can still scale it as more of them are coming in. But I appreciate this call because you're helping me to think deep. And I'm glad you also have experience. It does help. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, bro. So, what else was I gonna say?
Before you speak, let me ask you. So you actually confident that the $5,000 makes sense?
What was one more time?
You're confident that the $5,000 per month on a 1 year bill 10 makes sense. So it's $60,000 a year.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I think that makes sense. I think the $60,000 yearly is fine. I do. I think the only pushback we may get is them wanting to split that up into 4 payments, right, every quarter. But still, I think that's still a good number though. $60,000 annually. Yeah.
They'll pay for quarter. It's a 30 grand.
You said they're
So
paying per quarter as what?
30 grand. So we charge 7.5, right?
7,500. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now per year annually, but I'm saying, what I was saying is that quarterly.
Okay, maybe this, if you just say quarterly is around 20.
And of course, not 7,500 quarterly, so it would scale. So
yeah, 25.
Yeah, I mean, because you have to. I mean, you know better than anybody else, right? That the value that the product is bringing, providing to the wealth managers. So, and like I said, I have a really good idea in terms of what they are willing. So, when you talk about charging them $20,000, especially as it's always going to come back to their assets under management, right? So the $20,000 every quarter, quite frankly, that would probably be for the much smaller wealth managers. When we start scaling up to the billions and obviously multiple billions, that's what we're charging them should scale as well, right? It should scale with their AUM.
So let's just walk me through.
Mm-hmm.
We're going back and forth between, should we use the number of advisors or should we use how much are they managing?
Well, yeah, it should not. Yeah, so it should not be the number of advisors, in my opinion. And the reason is because, kind of like I was saying earlier, they're getting paid based on their assets under management, right? They charge their clients, a small percentage, about 1% of their assets under management. So that's directly correlated to, what we'd be charging should, in my opinion, be directly correlated to how much they're making. And the only way to know, and we know how much they're making based on their assets under management.
Absolutely. So that is, if Fed manages 800 million and they have 2 advisors, those 2 advisors are sharing 1% each, or every advisor in the firm manages its own assets under management.
Yeah, so the partners are the ones who are sharing the profit. So if they're charging they're charging their clients 1%, they have $800 million in assets under management. They're charging their clients 1%, so they're generating $8 million. Then those partners, if it's only 2 partners, they're typically going to split that $4 million a piece. because they're the owners of the business, right? The partners are the owners of the business, so they're gonna split the profit.
Sounds very much like we should rather go for asset under management instead of that.
Yes.
We can, based on that, do a percentage of that and find a way to charge at least a percentage of that and see how it can equate to around 20,000. In fact, we don't even want to keep it fixed. So if an asset under management is 100 million, for instance, and they take a 1%, we charge them a 0.1% of that.
Okay. A tenth.
Not 0.1% of the 100 million, not of their money they make.
Oh, of the 100 million. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but the question is that money now comes from so we are reducing how much they would make. So maybe 0.05, which is a $50,000. They spend $50,000 out of a million. Usually they would have spent that anyway on data and software that pay to me. I'm trying to see which makes sense. Is it to charge them percentage or just get it fixed?
Yeah, I mean, it's well, I don't know. I don't necessarily see like benefits of the fixed fee over the charging percentage of AUM. Victor, you breaking up?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm saying that for the smaller firms like the 100 million AUM, it's kind of similar. But as the AUM starts increasing, it will benefit us more to charge based on the AUM and not the fixed price.
Right. That makes sense. You're saying basically, anyone who's managing $100 million, $100 million or less, that it doesn't, that's small, right? So, we could just go ahead and charge them the fixed price point. But then as they scale to 500 million, a billion, so on and so forth, then we are, just charging them percentage of AUM. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we can make it like that. Like anything around 300 million and below is fixed.
Okay.
Anything above 100 is
Okay. You said above 800 million?
no, 800 million.
Yeah, 800 million.
100 million, like 800.
Oh, 100 million. Okay, yeah. Anything over 100 million, we're charging them, base a percentage of their AUM. Yeah. No, that makes. Yeah.
Yeah, so somebody who started with the 100 million with us, let's say it's a new firm, by the end of the year, they would leave that. They're not going to be in the same position anymore. They're now starting to manage more.
Right.
And so we can charge them the same thing. That becomes a percentage, which we have to figure out to make sure it's way more than how much they would have paid if they were on a fixed price.
Yeah.
I'll think through this and maybe come up with some numbers tomorrow morning.
Okay, but no, I think that makes perfect sense in terms of the the fixed price for anyone $100 million or less in AUM, and then the percentage of AUM, anything above 100 million, charging percentage of AUM. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Well, now I'm going to listen to you because you have experience. So you have more experience than me dealing with them. So if you say that makes sense, I would believe you. I would agree.
Awesome. Okay. Well, yeah, bro. Let's continue to stay locked in. I did you guys have the meeting this morning?
Indeed, and they asked
Okay.
a question that I said I don't know, because we always keep everybody accountable. Even if they ask me, oh, okay, how was your trip? You know, like they keep me accountable to some things. Now
Right.
they're asking me, how many hedge funds or partners have you spoken to? What is the conversation about now? Where are we today? And I said, I don't really know. I actually haven't asked you. The last time we spoke, you mentioned that there is someone on the investment side, but we've not really spoken about, and also conversations on the ORATs that didn't go well.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't recall if there's any other conversations you're having.
Mike Ross, he is the head of global partnerships at Yahoo Finance. Yeah, I had a brief conversation with him yesterday. You know, he was saying he was busy and everything, but we had a brief conversation. And so that's who I'm in talks with right now. A couple of hedge fund managers as well. Webull, the head of partnerships at Webull, Carlos Quistel. He's like I said, the head of partnerships at Webull. So messaged him. You know, he responded the first time, but then, you know, waiting to hear back from him again. So we've started that conversation. Is, you know, of course, you know, Mike Ross.
By the way, that's thank you. That's like progress, because we're talking to people who there is traction. So I'm glad. If I didn't ask, I probably wouldn't know. So I'm glad I asked you.
Yep.
From my just own, if I remove myself from the picture,
Mm-hmm.
I really see Yahoo Finance as a big benefactor to what we built, because they've been on the shadow for a while, a long time, especially Yahoo, the company itself, being able to dominate, and all of a sudden they got kicked away by Google. And
Yep.
so Yahoo Finance is a perfect way for them to reposition as an AI-driven analytics predictive company when it comes to forefront of AI. If I were there, I would going to be the first company to jump in and seal the deal and make a big noise out of it.
Yeah.
So before other people know, they've been able to lock in all those 10 million users they have.
Yeah.
So when I look at the entire list, they are like a perfect, like something that would really bring them out of the somebody who is a giant that is sleeping. This is a way of waking them up.
Yeah. And when I talked to him, he seemed to understand, you know, where, you know, how the type of impact that we can make on the business. And so that's why, you know, he was saying he wants to, you know, continue that conversation. So, so yeah, you know, we'll see. You know, I'll stay connected with him and continue to move it forward, and I'll keep you updated. Oh no, this is one-on-one conversation. I talked to him on the phone.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I talked to him directly. I can't. One more time, Victor. You kind of went out. Yes.
I was asking, what about if we schedule a direct one-on-one meeting with them at your offices?
Okay. That sounds good to me. I will run that by him the next time I talk to him. Because right now he's saying that he wants a little bit more information. So that's why I had that conversation with you yesterday about Yahoo Finance and basically trying to cross all the T's, dot all the I's, and make sure I knew what's going on. So he wants some more information right now. That's kind of where we are. And then if that goes well and he wants to move forward, then I think that's a good idea.
Would you?
I don't want to. Basically, my point is like I don't want to overpromise. I don't want to overpromise anything. So that's kind of where I am right now.
Right. Even though I think if every conversation and that moves us from A to B is more to talking about it.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, I don't think it's not over promise. None of this is over promise. We are trying to, we have training thoughts,
Mm.
there's so many options also.
Yeah.
One of the things that was, everybody did it with it, so I don't think you should share from sharing. Some people sometimes it means on their way, there is this final deal was ready to go before we can say, hey, you can go here. Like a surprise.
Yeah.
But I will understand we've come a long way in terms of where we are today. So
Yeah.
most likely the first person we speak to might not be the first person that's going to say, okay. I'm just saying every step that we take that's just from A to B should be celebrated.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. That's true. So yeah, it's definitely promising. That he's interested. I will say he's the guy, right? He's the guy to talk to at Yahoo Finance. With him, his role at the company, like I mentioned to you, right? He's the head of global partnerships and business development at Yahoo Finance. So he's definitely the right person to talk to. So the fact that he's interested, it is a big deal. And yeah, like we're just gonna try my best to move it forward for sure.
That's awesome. So my hope is to make sure that is track on track. Okay. Because there's so many distractions. And everybody wants to see the product now.
Yeah.
I worked around for 8 years and I was just looking at the launch.
Yeah.
Now it's not working, everyone wants to see it.
Yeah, it's kind of I know that's got to be pretty and interesting for you. Like, the product was available forever and nobody cared, and now.
If they run it 24 hours, I was looking at it every day.
Yeah.
I was treating it as if we had a million people using it. I would see London Stock Exchange or some, just maybe another stock exchange, something went wrong and it didn't run or it's not running.
Mm-hmm.
And my attention, the way I throw everything aside to make sure that is fixed. But everything, even though it's not even being used, we're treated as if there were a million people using it. That's the level of how we weigh.
Yeah.
And just weighing Microsoft every day that the product is not running, I'm starting to find it difficult to get the result.
Mm.
Like I don't know how I'm going to get the result. I'm just evaluating how, if we did not go to the cloud, maybe we would have been better off. How can you put me on the cloud and then you left me to get and I don't have to see you copy my product?
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know the comment. How would I forgive? Like, tell me, just tell me, just tell me. Like, something that started as a relationship is going to be super upset.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's something to, of course, be upset about. I mean, I think that would be frustrating for anybody.
I have four siblings. They rented this right now, they get four. Why did you put it?
Mm. Yeah. So what have you had any conversations with them? I know you said that they
Just
or no.
all the support people are not, they're not decision makers. So it's a,
It's kind of in like stagnant right now.
it's disappointing.
Yeah.
I wish you reached out to me. You reached out to me on LinkedIn.
Victor, your voice.
Multiple relations, Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
We had a call last week Friday. I was in New York. I just arrived and we had a call and this conversation was towards a direct Microsoft partnership. It wasn't so I described what we're doing and also I told them multiple ways that Microsoft can help. It wasn't saying they could if you thinking upfront, like okay, once we this cost is over, what we do to keep the lights running. Um, well, that was like on Friday. He was going to get back to me. He hasn't got it back to me till today. He wanted me to submit the ticket and copy it on the ticket so he could reach out to a couple of people in other departments for us to find ways to resolve the issue. And my single point is number one, the contract was almost wrapping up. I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
Wrapped up, I did not know. I wanted you after 1 month. It's like, did you plan it? Did you plan to make sure that I'm get before you switch it up?
Yeah.
Are you waiting? Why didn't you just switch it up the day your free credit is over? Why would you have to switch it up after 1
After
month?
you've accrued all that debt.
After I've recruited, then you have the balls to switch it up. Now we have a product worth millions of dollars, and you're tying it over to an account.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty messed up. That's messed up for sure.
I'm sure we figure something out, but it's small, it's so small, I would never forget it.
Yeah.
But I look at the problem of $14,000. I've spent $100,000 in the last 3 months. So $14,000 is not a lot. But it's big now because it's holding us from actually making progress. Someone I just spoke to before I spoke to him, who was trying to hook me up with people, but he said those people might even want to see the product right now, and the product is not live. So it's kind of annoying to hear things like that where a product of this magnitude, somebody thinks it's a small idea to hold us to ransom instead of thinking the bigger picture. Like whoever that has the decision to make regarding this, let's not see the bigger picture here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's continue to try to let's just continue to brainstorm and figure out how we can get past it. like you and I had talked about before, um, obviously it's unfortunate, that Microsoft is taking this route, but you know, what's more important is that we, you know, try to figure out a solution to get it back up and running. So.
Yeah. We'll get it out. I can remove everything from Microsoft. That's what is happening.
Yeah. Okay. All right, bro. Well, yeah. Let's. Do you want to like? I think you and I probably should just have like a, um, check. Well, actually, I don't know if we need necessarily like a touch point because I was thinking that I was gonna be on that call earlier this morning, and I realized that I hadn't received the invite yet. But if you can add me to that call, because I just want to make sure that I'm staying in touch with the team, right?
I thought they added you to the call. I thought you did join. I thought maybe they already sent an invite that you joined.
Oh, no. I didn't get an invite.
I'm going to forward it to you.
Okay. Unless I missed it, I'm on my calendar right now.
I'm going to forward it to you. There's another lady I'm speaking to that she has a lot of operations experience. And I think, and I'm actually, I've asked her to see if she can help us be an advisory team.
Okay.
Yes. The CEO, functional CEO. So when she comes on board, that would help us just integrate and support you to find, especially people with influence. We just need influential people. We're getting there. I have one personal belief. Anybody can be a genius, depending on the task and the execution. So now people, there's a guy that called Mike Jones, and if I mention his name, I feel like puking. They just talk a lot of trash. First of all, he was even saying, I didn't go to Harvard University, or the team is very weak. He makes a kind of very odd statements, But my point is,
who is this? Is that you said Mike Johns? I think you mentioned him to me before.
Yeah, it was. I paid him $7,000 to help me get his website.
Right. Yeah, you told me about him.
Yeah. Everything that streams out of his mouth is just bullshit.
Just negativity.
It's like a scammer, it's like a fraud.
Yeah. Yeah, those type of people are a cancer. That's how I kind of see them.
It's like a fraud. For me, yes, the team can be like that, but that same team can do magic. It just depends on how are we executing.
Right.
So my point is, we don't have to unravel the team, but we can put more strategic people in the advisory team. People who can really just look at I know Google Finance. I'm just call the CEO. This kind of people.
Yeah.
These people should be part of the advisory. So that's where I'm hoping we can get to.
Yeah, we'll get there.
It's so hard. It's so hard when I think about the current state of the product. It pisses me off the time. Annoys the hell out of me. Ever since I was born, I've always been in control. I've always been in control. And to be in a situation right now where I don't have control, it's very, very hard to see myself in that situation.
Yeah, that's tough. I can tell. Yeah, and I feel like that would be anybody, But like you said, to always be in control since birth, and then have something like this happen, especially for something that you have worked so hard on for so long. I know that can be really, really, really tough. because you put so much into it, and for so many years, and uh, not just time, right, that you've invested into it, but a lot of time, money, um, and just different resources. So yeah, I couldn't imagine. You know, it's frustrating for me, so I can't really even imagine how frustrating it is for you.
Yeah, you stated the resources put into it. I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
What I'm what I'm more focused in is the look at the guy that's helping me. Somebody I just met in Las Vegas.
Mhm.
Like I just met him like less than a month ago, and he used the product, and he said, "Oh my God, I made $4." Now that's from the accuracy to the design and to the chatbot, the implementation of the chatbot. We provided excellence it from top to like excellence view. Like most of the apps and most of the entrepreneurs today, all they're building is social media, tiny, and looking for one user, 50 users, tiny stuff.
Right.
What we're doing here is not great; it's real stuff.
Yeah.
So you spoke about how much time, how many months, how many days, and I did not sleep. The total amount of money I've spent. My credit score is like 650. You think that's normal?
Yeah.
Like my 9 to 5, with my 9 to 5, my credit score should be 800. Every single resources went into the product. I spent millions, like everything. I don't have a family because I've dedicated everything there. But that's not even painful to me. Is the level of excellence, and some people in Microsoft choose to make decisions that is I cannot comprehend.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's
So
all right. But
it's like I need it's like they need 1 year to get in this position. It's like let's get into the cloud and frustrating after the product is over. When they're supposed to be like the biggest. I'm supposed to be talking about Microsoft every day, thanking them for getting us to the cloud, for helping us to build what we built this far. They're supposed to be the number one on the list of people I should be thanking. No, that story has changed. That story has changed. They should rather have left me locally when I was locally running the stuff locally.
yeah, instead of bringing this to the cloud, just let us continue to do what we've been doing.
You got me to the cloud, and then you got me to debt, and then you seized all my resources.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have a backup. Like I don't have. It's like I will have to review again. I spent 8 years to build this. Now I have to build it again. The only thing I have is the knowledge. I don't have the backup, the resources. So if you tell me, can you make a backup and spin up a new server? I don't have it. It's all tied to this account. That's why it's really pissing me off.
Yeah, because you can't allow anyone to test it right now.
I can't. Someone you can go, you can see what is there, but I don't have a backup. I cannot take a copy and put it in another server. I can't switch my servers on and have a copy there that I can run because I could have done it. When this happened, I could have just taken it. I tried to take it backup so I can run it. I can run a small, just the US stocks and leave the entire product there. And just run only US stocks locally. Nobody would know. This conversation would have been we won't be having it because people wouldn't know that we were not in the cloud, except if electricity went off or something.
Right.
But what I'm trying to tell you is that I don't have a copy of this product.
Yeah, to be able to take
So,
it, to be able to take it elsewhere is what you're saying.
I don't have it.
Yeah.
Even I can't even access it there. I can't click on it. It's there. I see it, but I can't do anything to it.
Wow.
So tell me if whoever that's making this decision, tell me how sensible it is. It does not make sense to me. And if they think, whoever thinks this is like it's a smart idea, a couple of months later or years later, they will see how stupid they were. Very stupid to have gotten to this level.
Yeah.
Because I'm even saying, you don't even, okay, if you can't write out the account, the money, because I did not know we were using that amount of resources. Okay, put me on a payment plan.
Yeah, that would have been an even better, yeah, some type of payment plan.
Put me on a payment plan, and still every support ticket that I would file, they close it. Or they say, oh, we close it. Like, okay. I'm like, I wish you guys understand the level of excellence, the billions you guys are playing with. In fact, they send you a message that if we don't pay the money by December 15th, they're going to delete it. I will sue Microsoft $10 billion if they delete that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely worth it.
$10 billion if they touch these resources. Let them delete it. I like to see.
Hmm.
So I gotta go. Let me let you
go. Okay. Yeah, we'll be talking, bro. Let's just stay in touch, and we'll just continue to move these deals forward, and we'll continue to do the work for sure.
I appreciate, man. Thank you, man. We'll be fine. It just hard to comprehend how sensible some people who I believe should be smart they can think.
Right.
They're just not thinking.
Right.
Thank you very much.
All right, man.
Thank you.
All right. I mean, he's hot, about the whole thing. It's for good reason. So I get it for sure. I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to kind of see what's up with her. Just kind of, it's just naturally, I don't know. I just saw something and just decided to click, see what was going on. It'd be like that sometimes. So what I'm gonna do, y'all, I'm gonna call some of my wealth management, some of the wealth managers I know. I'm gonna call them tomorrow. Okay. And see if they're interested. Try to see if we can get them to hop on a call with me. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Before today is over with, though, I am gonna send this email to Mike Ross, who looks like he's active on what's I do again? I keep getting so distracted, bro. I keep forgetting stuff. We're gonna send him what we need. Bro, just plug the numbers in. What are you talking about? Hmm. I'm just gonna have to go ahead and send it to him all that time. I ain't gonna tell him I'll find somebody else just yet, but don't ask me stupid stuff. Actually, I don't need it done now. I need it done yesterday. I'm gonna probably do this myself, bro. Cause I'm ready to sing this, so I'm gonna do it myself. Um, let me work with that. Actually, hold on, drop this. Right. Is that open? try this on. What you gonna do if you get a name? You know what? I know I keep going back and forth on this, or was going back and forth with this, but I'm not. I'm just gonna keep it. You know why? And it's simple, right? This number is gonna get their attention. It just is. It's gonna get his attention. Um, you know what I'm saying? And that's just the bottom line, right? This number and this number right here, right? These two numbers are gonna get his attention to let him know that we're thinking big over here at Trinity Neurons. We ain't playing. You know, it's a series. We're thinking very, very big. These numbers are very, very big. So, I'm just gonna keep it the way it is. And I'm going to schedule the email to be sent. So I'm gonna send it right now. We'll say I want to send this when I think that he isn't receiving emails from other things in the mail. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just send it. I guess I probably could just send it now. I'm saying this too, so you know. which we don't know if he's gonna read it or not. But basically, if he reads it, I'm gonna have to go in a second. I think he'll be interested in meeting. Right? There we go. I spoke to Yahoo Finances. Yesterday. Interested in in fact, said additional info on that the body of right. So I spoke to Yahoo Finance's head of global partnerships yesterday. He's interested in Trinity Ross. In fact, he said he wanted additional info on the company, which I will attach to the email. Use the 5 reasons you found above about why Yahoo Finance wants to partner. Right. So I spoke to Yahoo Finance's head of global partnerships, Mike Ross, yesterday, and he's interested in training neurons. In fact, he said he wanted additional info on the company, which I will attach to the email. It's a PowerPoint. Use the info you just found above to draft the body and subject of the email. Right? So you never know, man. He could be, you know, he could end up being really interested. If we close Yahoo Finance, that would be huge. Like, needless to say, that'd be huge for us. I didn't know this was a thing. That's why I'm asking ChatGPT, or if they're at ChatGPT. Okay. All right, I didn't know that. I didn't know they had a Plus subscription service already. Create a better trying to not. Bro, you lagging like crazy, boy. Right, that's important because everybody hates sales calls. This is good for the most part. Damn. Hold on real quick, y'all. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. So we just sent that. So we just scheduled the. Yeah, sorry, we just scheduled an email to be sent out to Mike Ross. He's the head of global partnerships and business development at Yahoo Finance. Um, like I said, y'all saw me talk to him yesterday briefly. He was in a rush or whatever. So just sent him an email to follow up with him and everything like that. See if he's interested in having a conversation, right, about how we can add value to Yahoo Finance. Yeah, man, I gotta go. So I gotta drop like now. I'm already late for what I gotta do. Got another meeting. But I will catch up with y'all tomorrow, man.